Today is the beginning of the blanket stitches. In Christine's video, she only wrote the word blanket in the center of her fabric and then she put them around, but I really wanted the words. I like it that way. And I am going to do the blanket stitch today in the blanket double. And I'm actually going to do the blanket stitch on the edge of the fabric. Because that's one of the places that it goes. I need to see though. I don't know how to start. Let's see. Come out the top. I think I'm supposed to be, let's see, if I turn this around to match the book, then I should be on this end. So let me try that again, going the other way. Don't need you right now. Following the directions in the book. We'll do it that way. I was doing blanket stitch on the edge of the fabric that I am going to be using for the book pages the other day, and I discovered, probably not discovered, I've seen it done where you mark on your finger, that pin won't work, the width of the stitch that so that you can be consistent across the stitches. So I'm just going to mark the width of the stitch on my fingernail. That's what I did the other day, and it worked out pretty well for me. So I'm pretty sure I went the other way on my stitches, but that's okay. I'm willing to learn. And then I didn't mark how far down, but that's okay. I don't know if I can go this way. I went the other way last time. I think I'm going to go the way that I am comfortable going. I'm going to start over again. Those are more right-handed-ish directions, and this is something I definitely do kind of more left-handed. I do all of the needlework with my left hand, so maybe I'm not doing this in a right-handed way. Okay, take 3. Pop out on the edge. Like so. Unthread your needle because you yanked on the wrong end. Okay. I just kind of go there, and then I just use the mark on my thumb for the distance, and I kind of eyeball how far down I want to go. Put that out from under my elbow. All of the threads on this group are the colors that I used for the words on here, and I'm going to try to do the stitches. I know some of them have more than one color, but try to do the main part of the stitches with the color that I wrote the word in, just because I like that kind of order in life. It appeals to me. So that is what my blanket stitch is going to look like on the edge, and I'm going to do the entire top. So I will come back when that's done, and then we'll work on the double. And there is my blanket stitch across the top. I'm pretty happy with that. Got a little short right there, but I can live with that. For the double blanket stitch, the book says you can use 1 or 2 colors. I'm going to use 1 color, and I'm going to go across right here on this little gray band. I don't think I've only done the blanket stitch on an edge so far, so I'm not sure. So for the first row, you come up at A. Let's see. Yeah, it's at the bottom. Okay, so I come up at A, and then I scoot over and mark out my stitches here again. I'm going to go about halfway down. Maybe. I'm completely off the screen at this point. If A is my bottom. Oh, I came out in the wrong spot. No. I want it to open to that. It's going to take a second for me to think this through in my brain. Rethread my needle. Maybe I can figure out how to go backwards. So, I'm going to follow the directions. I came up at A. I'm going the wrong direction though. I want to go this way from about halfway and then out at C, like that. Try that again. A slightly different thing going through the fabric instead of being on the edge. I've only practiced it that way. I kind of missed on that one a little bit. I find that on a lot of these stitches I actually do better vertically than I do horizontally. And I don't know, maybe I need to force myself to learn vertically or horizontally. I'm not sure. As I get better, maybe that will be a question that gets answered for me. But right now, I'm going to go with what's comfortable. And what's comfortable is to work toward myself on the fabric, holding it like this instead of working across. I can work down. Like that. It's still almost a two-handed job, I guess. Another YouTube channel that I watch, she was timing herself doing single-handed and double-handed embroidery, and she decided that she was faster or just as fast by only using her right hand. She had it in a frame on a stand. She was not holding it in her hands. But she decided she was just as fast single-handed as she is double-handed. And I had so many questions. Like, is that a fair assessment? You have so much more practice doing it that way. I think I'll do one more. I don't want to crowd my bee too much. But at the end of the day, she's not comfortable using her left hand. So, I think that, I don't know how to end that. To end off, take the thread to the back just over the last loop. I see. So right here, just go to the back. I think she only did the experiment with her left hand, which was non-dominant, on the bottom. And I wonder if she had tried it the other way, if it would have made a difference. I don't know. For the second row, turn the fabric upside down and bring the needle to the front directly below the end of the stitch of the previous row. So that would be on this line here. Take the needle to the front from F to G between the vertical stitches of the first row to ensure that the thread. So now we are going, I think I'm too far away because those are almost even. This stitch is going to be really long. Let's see how it looks, if I like it or not. I should have done my stitches a little bit longer, I guess. Oop, that's not too bad. I could probably live with that. And then continue across. It's kind of strange because I can't. I was just holding my fabric from the edge, and now I feel like there's too much fabric. So I'm going to do one more stitch like that. Oh, that's nice. And then I'm going to go like this and see if that helps any. I don't know. It might. Pull that over there. Kind of a lot to hold. Definitely a different motion than on the edge. On the edge it feels like a glide, and in the middle of the fabric it feels more like a poke and pop up. It would probably be different if I had it in a frame or a hoop. I did buy a frame that I used when I did the writing on this. Oops, I caught up on my letter. That I really like, but it's because everything kind of goes right to the edge. It's not quite big enough for this, and I need to research. I gather that it's okay to have your stitches actually within the frame. I don't know how to say that, where the frame is actually pinching them. I think that if you were doing a big project and you, ooh, I missed my stitch there a little bit. Fix that. But I don't, when I was doing it, I didn't like having my stitches scrunched by the frame. And maybe that's a me thing, or maybe it doesn't matter. I was just worried that they would get stretched out or somehow ruined. And so that's something I need to research and find out if that's an actual issue or if that's just me making things up in my head rather than knowing the truth. I definitely don't know the truth. Off the edge. There we go. Now, do I do one more, or I think so. Continue to the end of the row, ensuring that the stitches are evenly spaced, end off as before. So just go down right here. Completed double blanket stitch. Oh, isn't that lovely? Very nice. I like it. The next one that I will be doing, I don't know, probably the pinwheel, because it's actually the next one in the book. I blanket, pinwheel, blanket, stitch, double. So probably it will be pinwheel next. I'm not sure what Christine does next in her video series, but that'll probably be my next video. But there it is so far, my blanket and my blanket double. Very nice.